Hey guys, a quick video here from me before the gremlins roll out of bed and start making fits of chaos all around the house and this becomes impossible to record. Reading's a big part of my life. It's something I try to do on a daily basis. It doesn't always work out that way due to various things, but over the last couple of years I've managed to find little nooks of time throughout the waking hours of the day to fit in roughly about an hour's worth of reading, which constitutes 10 pages generally across 3 books, depending on how much I'm enjoying those books or not. So 25 books consumed this year, a little bit up on last year's quota, and I'm comfortable with where that sits. That won't be some sort of record that I try to improve from year to year, going at about a book roughly every 2 weeks. Reasonably happy with that result. So top 5 books that I consumed throughout 2025, and these aren't in any particular order, but as I look at the stack right here, this was actually the best book I read in 2025, and that is called Smart Work by Dermot Crowley. What I liked about Smart Work is that it just has really great practical applications that you can put into your working life, particularly around Microsoft Outlook and the suite of applications in there. So if you do happen to use Microsoft Outlook and you've always been wanting to tap better productivity through those software hubs, then pick this book up because you won't be disappointed. Next book off the cab line is The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher. Argue less, talk more. This one's basically all about how to have tricky conversations while keeping things emotionally under control. First, how to have the conversation, which often goes missing for a lot of people, and then secondly, how to keep things in check. Again, full of highlights and full of good practical advice. In fact, that's one that I've gifted over the course of the last year. Hope you enjoy it, Maxi. This one's a different one, Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. It's actually a horror story, this one. It's a genre that I generally don't get into. Read about this through someone else's recommendation, so here we go, paying it forward. This has basically got the context of people who suffer from severe trauma in life. It can be often hard to comprehend the mental struggles that they're going through and how some of those mental struggles portray themselves. It gets a little bit long in the back 1/5 of the book. I guess with horror, it's a bit hard to keep going back to the same well and emitting some sort of emotional response. Jack Daly's Life by Design. So Jack is a sales guru. I've in fact been along to see Jack present. Very energetic, full of heaps of good practical advice, and this book is essentially about how Jack goes about his life and tracks his bucket list in amongst various other things that he tracks in his life. I wouldn't ever want to go to the extent of tracking every little bit of minutiae that happens in my life like Jack does, but there's lots to be taken out of this book about how to set things up for the short, medium and long term. The Chickens Are Restless by Gary Larson. So always been a huge fan of Gary and his witty observations around life, animals, humans, nature, and our interactions between those places. He often grabs 2 separate ideas and then combines them together. This was actually a $10 purchase from the local secondhand bookstore. A nice easy read from cover to cover, and the sort of book you can just pick up, break it open at the spine and go to any page and generally find a little bit of a chuckle between the comic pains that present. Anyway, that's my top 5 for 25. I'm curious to hear of anyone else's book recommendations in the comments below. I'm always looking for inspiration to add to the Amazon wish list, so chuck it in there if you feel inspired to. Otherwise, I hope that you see something in amongst these books that might inspire yourself to go out and have a read.